So, you probably heard about the absolute explosion in AI, right? Well, today we're diving into what might just be the biggest business opportunity to come out of it, the AI agent economy. And the best part? You absolutely do not need to be a coder to get in on this. We're going to break down, step by step, how you can build and sell your very first AI agent.
And look, this isn't just some random prediction. When the CEO of NVIDIA, arguably one of the most important companies in the entire AI space, puts a number on it, you really gotta pay attention. And that number is, well, it's almost hard to believe.
15 trillion euros. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't just a market for the big tech giants. This is a wide open field for entrepreneurs, for creators, for people just like you. So the real question is, how do you get your piece of that incredible pie?
Well, that's what we're here for. We've laid it all out in 4 simple parts. First, we'll look at the sheer size of the opportunity. Then, we'll nail down what an AI agent actually is. After that, the fun part, building one. And finally, we'll get into how you can sell it.
Okay, let's start with that mind-boggling number. Because this is about more than just some cool new gadget. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how business gets done, period.
Think about it this way. Every single business, big or small, has a bunch of tasks that are just tedious and time-consuming. You know, things like answering the same customer questions over and over or pulling together weekly reports. AI agents are built to take over exactly those kinds of jobs, and that creates this massive demand for people who know how to build them. No computer science degree required.
All right, so the opportunity is huge. We get it. But what in the world is an AI agent? It's one of those terms that gets thrown around a lot, but the definition can feel a little fuzzy. Let's make it crystal clear.
You know, a lot of people mix up AI agents with plain old automation, and that's totally understandable. You might have an automation that, say, sends a welcome email whenever someone signs up for your newsletter. That's cool, but that's basic automation. An agent is a whole different beast.
This right here is the key difference. Automation is like a dumb recipe. It just follows the exact steps you give it. 1, 2, 3. If something unexpected happens, it just breaks. But an AI agent, you don't give it a recipe, you give it a goal. It understands the objective and it can think for itself, adapt, and figure out the best way to get there, even if things go wrong.
Honestly, this is the best way to think about it. An AI agent is like a virtual employee you can hire. It can think, it can remember what you talked about yesterday, and this is the really important part, it can actually use other software programs as tools to get its job done, all by itself.
And every single one of these virtual employees is built on 4 core pillars. You've got the brain, which is a large language model like GPT-4. You've got the memory, so it can keep track of conversations. You have the instructions, which is basically you, in plain English, telling it what its job is. And then you have the tools, giving it access to things like Google Sheets or your calendar so it can actually perform tasks in the real world.
Okay, so the theory is cool and all, but now for the really exciting part. Let's actually talk about how you can build one of these things right now without writing a single line of code. Seriously.
The secret weapon here is a no-code platform called N8N. The best way to picture it is like a box of digital Legos. It gives you all the pieces, the brain, the memory, the tools, and lets you just click and drag to connect them all together visually. It's how you build these powerful agents without being a programmer.
And getting it set up is way easier than you'd think. First, you get NN running on a cloud server so your agent can be on the job 24/7. Then, you literally just copy and paste an API key from OpenAI to give it a brain. You click a button to give it memory. And then you authorize the tools you want it to use, like your calendar or email. That's it. The foundation of your agent is built. So building the agent is one half of the equation, but turning it into a real business, that's where the magic really happens. So let's talk about what kinds of agents businesses are actually willing to pay good money for right now.
Here are 5 ideas that are absolutely crushing it. Now, if you look at this chart, the key is to find that sweet spot between how hard it is to build and how much you can charge. For example, look at the Google Review Responder. It's a 10 out of 10 on the difficulty scale, meaning it's the easiest one to build, and it solves a super common problem for local businesses. Or check out automated reporting. It's a bit more complex, but businesses will pay over €1,000 a month for it because it saves them so much time and money.
So, if you're just starting out, here's my advice. Pick something simple that shows its value immediately. The Google Review Responder or a basic customer support agent are perfect for this. They're not too complicated to build, and when you show a potential client, they'll instantly get how it saves them time and makes them look good. It's an easy sell.
And once you've built your agent, how do you find those first paying clients? Well, you can start with a $0 budget.
Just use direct outreach on email or LinkedIn, or even just tap into your own personal network. As you start getting results, you can move into creating content, showing off what your agent can do, and eventually scale up with things like paid ads or partnerships.
Now this is so important to understand. You have to shift your mindset. With amazing no-code tools, building the tech is actually becoming the easier part. The real skill, the 70%, is in finding a client, understanding their pain point, and clearly explaining how your agent is the perfect solution. Your job is less about being a techie and more about being a problem solver.
So there you have it. We've covered the why, that massive trillion-euro opportunity. We've covered the what an agent actually is, and we've covered the how to build and sell one. The only thing left to do is take that first step. So I'll leave you with this question. What problem, what tedious, annoying, or expensive problem will your first AI agent solve?